Watching as we're pulled apart, staring I could be the last time. Faces drawn but can't escape.
6 Steinmetz, Monroe, Turner, down to play the corner. The new strong rider in there, left marvellously on
Silence between them, just a trace. Leaving resistance and falls.
Good ball across. Top line. Police out to the harbour, taking the win between the Robo Moto. In the all that plate, he's been chased down by Peter Watson. Looking to swap his body, there is ahead into the mark. Wounds again, Lance picking up with his strike. Evolution having a good old battle, working his way from 3 to 2 now. He's actually treating well, not leaving that finals. Actually, he's not struggling on the inside. Moto wants to ease Streeter, Holtz, that looks like Larky's battling Kroger. To 50, who's battling for that final qualifying second corner. Final turn it down the final straight. Wills, Trays, who's going to quick look at advantage down the final straight? Here comes Harry Swash. Harry Swash is going to take advantage of the corner. John's going to hang on to the guard. Looking for a highlight. Everyone's going to feel like 3.4. Lights out. We are final racing 9 to 12-year-old cruiser B final, heading into that first corner. Ocean King leading this one up at British BMX, heading towards the second turn. Who's in there with him? DC Cycles bringing it on round. That is Taylor Hall on the 19 plate, the 26 in there as well. That's looking like Paige Cathcart Brunison out of Runnymede Rockets heading through that third straight. Who's in for? Looking like it could be Holly Bishop. Out of Halo Wheels Race Team in and out of the final turn. King, Team Mai and Bournemouth going to pick up this 9 to 12-year-old cruiser B final win. 9 to 12-year-old cruiser A final up on the gate. 9 to 12-year-old cruisers are a go. The Thursday final, around number 3 of the 2025 British BMX Series into the turn. Barton leads this one out. He's your current points leader for the series. Who's in behind him? Looking like he could be the 975 of Harding. Barton Harding looking for the move in the turn. Just about manages to keep it upright. Leighton Harding swoops in the second turn. His back wheel just about stayed upright. Harding, Barton, Swales. That's your 1, 2, 3. Down the final straight, GT Factory picking up the 9 to 12-year-old cruiser win. 13, 14-year-old cruiser. Second spot at the moment. Rollworks trying to work his way inside. Can't quite make that move in the corner. He's been shuffled back into 4, but it's Bruce Anthony leading it down that straight towards the final corner. In and out we go. It's going to be Anthony, Knowles, Stim in that order. 1, 2, 3, Freddie Walworth with a late charge. Feeling it as a line. 13, 14 cruisers heading down the hill. Cotty on the inside, tossing him up. It's like that again, Rich. Doug Smith, Dotman as well. Ian Hindley into the turn in there in 2. Who's got the 4 of them all? Looks like Robin, Matt Turner, Alonso as they head towards that second corner. But 40 starting to eke out a lead now. He's out there in front. Hindley's worked his way into the 2. Robin, Matt Turner, Alonso's looking for the 3. Hilton Young rounding out the top 5. Ben Millington in there in 6. It's going to be Little Cotty to the stripe, winning 13-14 cruiser. Hindley for 2. Smith Dotman for 3. Final is on track. Got to be a ball class for motocross out front. That is Joe Little heading into the turn. Little leading it out at the moment. That looks like Davison in there in that 2 spot, who's picking up 3 and 4. That looks like the Titans. Liam Wilson on the 30X plate heading into the final corner. Inside the top 3, Addison Milburn, Exeter Ingles in there in 4, but it's all about Joe Little picking up that B-final win. 15. Final number 6, these are your 15, 16-year-old cruisers looking to wage war on the 24. Sean Brown leads it out, he wants to do 3 out of 3. So far aboard his cruiser this season. Palmer's right there behind him looking to close the gap to stop him from doing that. The 12 trading there in 3. That's Joe Penton-Boat who's in 4. John O'Harradine doing it for the ladies at MK Evolution, but it's all about Ice Bikes Factory UK. Sean Brown on a charge, gonna pick up this cruiser final win. Palmer Vogt 2 and 3. But it's shot. Bruce in there in 2, that looks like Kani Chiziwa in there in 3, and here comes Josephine Thurston trying to get in the mix as well as they go towards that second turn. Also got Karen Evans, a great turn, Elisa Tarlin and Leanne McLaughlin all in this one, the 30+ female cruiser B final as they head towards that final corner. It looks like Marsha Brook has got her nose in front as they go in and out of that final turn. Team Bunny's going to pick up a B final win. It's going to be Marsha Brook at the line. We fought Josephine Thurston and Annie Chiziwa, your top 4. The cruiser ladies are going crazy down the hill. Michelle Stupple, Becca Gold, the first to arrive, Peter Wong on the inside. Magic Manders, Healing Hands of Heaven right there in the middle and working away into a top 4 spot. Lee Pendleton in 5. In 6, Swan Clements working away in as well, battling with Nikki Sitch as they go towards the second corner. Michelle Stoppel checking out and going. She's got a 7-bike length lead now over Becca Gold as the Gospel National Race Team rider rolls in and out that final turn. He's going to pick up a 30+ cruiser win, almost gets it wrong down the final straight. Michelle Stoppel, Becca Gold, Nita Wongo, 1, 2, 3. Big Q for the 4, headed by Magic Manda Hemstock. Here we go, the 44-year-old cruiser's on the go. He's not quite Captain America, but he's looking for a whole shot into the turn. Chris Evans leads this one out. Who's there with him? Ian Dixon out of Peterborough BMX Club. That's your 1 or 2 at the moment. The 3 played in there behind them. That is Andy Groves in the for SVT Mongoose, but it's all about DC Cycles at the moment. Top 2 wins in Manchester. Wants to do the 3rd here today. Entering the final turn and back out again. For Chris Evans, he's going to pick up this final win by the looks of things. Can Dixon get close enough? I don't think he can. Evans, Dixon, Groves, that's your front 3. To 49 cruiser, Norbert Marco, Fraser Watson battling into that first turn. It's going to get tight, but it's Watson taking the lead, doing it for BMX Widow Photography and Cumbernauld Centurions. They are going to go wild for their rider as he comes past them in the second turn. 2X, that is Rich Stevenson in there in 3, Neil Harbour in 4, Big Dave Stokes, ball bicycle motocross in there in 5. But meanwhile, out in front, Fraser Watson bringing it home, keeping the Scottish fans happy. Watson takes it, Marco in there in 2, Stevenson Harbour 3 and 4, James Stokes in 5. Stu has come out across in the 50 to 54-year-old cruiser B final. We've lost one rider in turn 1. Not quite sure who that was, but it's all about Little out front. Who's there with him? Looking like it could be Tim Porter out of the Bradford Bandits. Here comes Brett Knight round the outside trying to make his stick into a top 2 spot. But it's all about Little at the moment down the final straight. He's going to take this Cruiser B final win across the stripe. It's tight on the line for 3. Looks like Big Potty picked it up. 50 to 54-year-old cruisers all ago. Don't get too close trackside or you'll smell the burning rubber. It's Hilly picking up the whole shot. Hilly, Pure Bikes leads this one out. Who's here with him? Looking like it is the Mongoose Rider bringing it into the turn. Hassel's had them input on him from the 4-2-1 of Archibald. So it's Hilly, Archibald, Hassel, Archibald, Dasher, 1 through 4. Honky's in near in 5, Ballers in 6, Father 7 and Sykes in 8. But it's all about Hilly out front on the E1 plate. Gonna take another national win. Archibald, Hassel, Archibald. Five-plus cruiser, hold on to your hands. Oh, one rider down already. McClue didn't make it to the bottom of the hill, but his bike did. It looks like Bentley's opened up the turbochargers. Big Mick Goff chasing him down that second straight. Madrid in 3, the McRock in there in 4. Stevie Noble in 5. Doppel in 6, Musgrove in 7. But AllensBMX.com heading down towards the final corner. John Bentley's put it together when it counted. Looks like Bentley's going to get it. Michael Goff chasing him to the line. Can't quite make it happen. Madron rounds out the 3. The McRock in 4. Final 14 hits the track. Looks like it could have been Theo Pope that's wheel spun out of the gate. Watson's on the inside, going to pick up the whole shot in and out of the turn. Watson leads it, and who's that there with him? Got to be Niall Moss out of fast signatures. Luke Davis Hayes picking up top 3 spot at the moment. Where is Connor Blythe? He's in there inside the top 4. Here comes 0-1 Racing, bringing it on through. That looks like it could be John Livingston inside the top 5, heading into the final corner. Colby Hall's made his move somewhere on the lines. He's in there in 6. Last straight action, Watson. Hayes, he's going to pick up the 2 spot on the line. Moss shuffled the back at 2, 3, 7. Final 15, your 17, 29-year-old cruisers are headed for turn number 1. Brooks is looking to shut the door into the corner, and I think he might have managed it. Brooks and Wilson run racing at 1 and 2 at the moment, looking to replicate what happened in round number 1 of the series. Who's in there in 3? It's on Esselman, looking to close the gap on the 2 race leaders. Oh, Wilson gets it a little bit wrong. Here comes Esselman into the final turn, right round the outside. They're outward bashing. Wilson hangs on just about. Brooks, Wilson, Esselman, that's your 1, 2, 3. 17 to 20. Got Ian Musgrove and Bella Rutford's in this one as well. It's Amy Willets leading it out. Jamie Elwood in there in 2. Alicia Linscott in 3. And the 8X in there in 4 is Carmel Allison as they go in and out of turn number 2. Willets doing it for Retro Racing. Still out there in front. Elwood looking good in 2. Alicia Linscott's going to pick up the 3. Willets takes the win. Final 17A final for the 17th. These ladies going crazy, heading down the hill. Hannah Drew on the inside. Annalise Cabot Carpenter. Oh, look like she got a very good start. The hometown favourite, Alexis McCartney. He's getting involved. She's in there in the top 3 at the moment. Here comes Anya Mata and Alonso working away into 4 with Hempstock in 5, Moen in 6, Firth in 7. Izzy Hurry in the... Oh! Taylor Lee Moen, massive loop out to the end of the straight. She's up and okay. Meanwhile, Hannah Drew's leading it into the final corner. Peralta are going to pick up a cruiser win. Hannah Drew takes it. Annalise Cadman Carpenter for 2. Alexis McCartney for 3. Race 18, 8-year-old Fiend final hits the track. Underhill, Crossley, Blight, Field, Thomas, Acito, Kerr and Jones all charging for that first turn. It looks like Finley Thomas is going to lead this one up for GT Factory and Crossport BMX. Who's in there with him? Got to be Finley Kerr out of Retro Racing. Looks like we've got Albie Blight on the inside for Absolute Bicycle Motocross. Frankie Jones is right there with him. on his right hand shoulder into turn number 2. In and out they go then, still your race leader, looking good for Thomas. Looks like Jones has been shuffled back slightly as Logan Aceto looks to firm his spot inside the top 4, and I think he's managed it. Thomas, Kerr, Blight, Aceto, Jones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aceto's not done yet. Gonna shove that front wheel through for a top 3 finish.
Right, 9-year-old been doing it for Bristol. Felix Aquina in the mix as well on that 406 plate. You know, Thornton Hitchens, Joseph O'Brien doing it for North East BMX on the 274. He's back there in about, what, 6th at the moment, but pushing hard as they head towards the final corner. It's going to be Marco in and out in front. Preston have got Lewis Rothwell in there. Marco's going to bring it to the line. He's going to get it. Bristol are going to pick up that 2 and the 4.
Didn't have the best of the first turns in his semi-final, so he's in there in the B-final at the moment. That looks like Mr. Sigma is Rocco Westwood in this one as well. In about 5 as they come on round, he's moved his way up to 4, so it is Dowsing leading it out. Lewis Spencer in there for 2 and 3. Who's picking up 4? Still looking good for Westwood. That looks like Oakley Lewisfield in there in 5. Scrapping it out with Seth Kacharic down the final straight. When you race the winner is going to be Charlie Dowsing.
Coming from the rider on the 11 plate, which is going to be Florence Kay from Brumwood. Roxy Rowlands is in there as well, battling with her teammate and Charlie Hargreaves. And where is she? She's back there in 6 or 7, but pushing hard. But it is Florence Kay leading from Emma Dean. In and out the final turn we go. Abby Graham's in there for Brixton, I think. In that 3rd spot, Roxy Rowlands is going to round out the top 4, but it's the other rider from Brunty, Florence Kay, with the win.
An 11-year-old boy's on track with it to craft during the winter, and he's been showing all day long so far. British BMX race team in there as well. That's Kylan Gordon picking up the 2 spot, chasing down Dayton towards the final turn. Looking like Jamie Robertson out of the Centurions crew inside the top 3, but he's now under pressure out of that final corner, being chased down by what looks like Jaden O'Connell, heading to the strike, riding out of Ireland.
Billy Walker, Lindsay 30, Erin Holmes and India Bennett. It's the 6 and the 381. That'll be Holly Richardson and Rachel Pritchard going 1 and 2 into turn number 2. So the rider from CGR's looking good. Bonnie Dudley's in there in 3. That's going to be the, who's that? 802, not quite got it, but India Bennett trying to get involved as well as they come down that final straight. Richardson under pressure from Pritchard. Richardson's going to hold it to the line. Dudley with a late charge for the 2. I think she nicked it.
This one out on the 6 of Isaac Descender Smith. The 8 plate of Marcus Mullen, Allen's Factory Superclass. In this one as well, inside the top 3, in and out of turn number 2. Del Smith and Mullen heading towards that final corner. Looks like it could be Oliver Taylor out of MK Evolution. In there in 4, he's being chased down by Samuel Richards at a Green Machine drive down the final straight. A B-strong race team picking up that B-final win.
You might try that again. Elsie out in front, doing it for Absolute Bicycle Motocross. Poppy and Kirby into Laney Cordy. She's got a birthday later in the month. We're going to give her a shout out. Happy birthday, Laney, for later in the month. She's in there in 3. Oh, one rider's gone down in a heat. Not sure who that was. Got a feeling it might have been the Radco Racing rider and Mara McCarran who hit the deck on that 3rd straight. But it's going to be Elsie Blight, Poppy May Kirby, Laney Cordy, your 1, 2, 3. Not sure who picks up the 4.
On track, Mabo UK leading out this 13-year-old. B-final in and out of that 2nd corner. Who's in there with him looking like it could be Charlie Craig, who's turned on the turbocharged this weekend so far. He's absolutely flying up there in that 2 spot at the moment. Mark Torside low. In there in 3, looking like that could be Riley Ford in there for that 4 spot, riding out of Absolute.
14-year-old B-final at Cumbernauld. This just proves how unbelievably stacked this 14-year-old age group is. Toby Lane Chavez troubles earlier on. He's holding it on for the B-final. Freddie Richardson in there in that 2nd spot. Milo Weller in 4. Cranston rounding out the top 5. Harry Donald back there in 7 with Buttery in 8. As they go out of the turn, it's going to be Oliver Titus, Freddie Richardson, Toby Lynch, 1, 2, 3, Milo Weller in 4.
15 Edwards, oh no, sorry, Freddie Franklin, I think that he had a rust in a racing, yes it is. Franklin's in this one, who's in there with him? Looking like we've got Mason Groves and Freddie Edwards, then has made his move and now occupies that second spot. Groves in there for 3, Rab Racing in there in 4. Looking like that is Elijah Jamira picking it up down the final straight. But your race winner is Freddie Franklin. One where his local favourite, been a long day. Lewis Collins Nimmo in there in that 4th spot. Chasing down Malachi O'Reilly, I think that is on the 149 as they head towards that final turn. Joe Pentonvogt in there into Blaine. Pentonvogt, O'Reilly, 1, 2, 3. Collins Nimmo in 4. That might be John O'Hara-Dean.
We are looking at the 9X headed towards turn number 2. That is Elliot Brook, Rab Racing, leading this one out. Looking like we have got... so it is Elliot Brook out front, in and out of that final corner. Charlie Granger out of fast signatures, picking up that 2 spot with 0-1's Jack Clark in 3.
White Cannons looking good. That's Keanu Schiffer-Cohen, I think, in there in 2. Or is it Hamblin? I can't tell them apart. In the kit, it is Sam Hamblin in there in that second spot. Joshua Wallace in there in 3. Pete Watson in 4. Keanu Schiffer-Cohen trying to get in there as well as they go in and out the final turn. But he's going to be the hit man, bringing it to the line. He's going to blow your legs off when he headed.
The track. Olivia Bird leads this one up for Sorted Race Gear. Where is Becca Gold? She's in there in about 4 at the moment. Looks like Lydia Webber inside the 2 spot under a bit of pressure from the 33. Into our second corner. That's Harriet Alexander making moves, so we're making it stick. She's now worked her way from 3 to 2, so it's third. Alexander, Webber's under more pressure into the final corner. Here comes Rebecca Gold. The elbows are flying now. Webber just about hanging on to it at the moment. Gold saying thank you very much. Down the final straight, works her way from 4 to 3. Alicia Linscott nicking a top 4 spot on the line from Lydia Webber. We are into the 20-inch finals, ladies and gents. The 6 and unders are bringing it on the head for turn number 1. And checking out his speed on fire. And very long decoys, very out, Jackson. In this 4th moto of the day on the 403 plate, he's looking to pick up another win to add to his collection. The 509 of Luke Barron in there behind him, the 460 in 3. That is Ellie Stoursing out of Derby BMX Club. Got to be Nottingham Outlaws is Stanley Lockwood in there in 4. Looking like that could be Leon Zucchina in 5, doing it for Bristol. And Team Bunnies is Dennis Turner in 6, but out front, Jack Byrne taking it to him on an absolute rampage down the final straight. Byrne's going to pick up the win. Barron for that 2 spot, Dowse in 3, Lockwood in 4, Zucchina looking like it's going to be Turner making the pass at the line to pick up 5 and Zucchina for 6. These little ladies have been putting a shift in all day long, and they're looking to do the same for the 4th time today. Look at the middle-ranks runner, Alice Laurie, looking to pick up the whole shot in this 4th moto. Laurie leads it out with Noah Kerr. She's right there behind her, looking to close the gap down. Erin Burrows on the 275 is in there in 3, and it is the 278. And Cardiff's own Paul Jones in 4. Kerr on the inside. Get a dive under though. Great bit of defensive riding from Alice Laurie. He's still being chased and they're queuing up behind her. And in for the final turn. All about the mid-lengths and Alice Laurie at the moment. In and out she goes. Laurie, Burrows, Jones. Is that how they're going to finish down the final straight? The mid-lengths are going to pick up the 6 and the little ladies win. Noah Kerr for 2. Erin Burrows in 3 and Opal Jones rounds out the top 4 spot. Here we go with the 7-year-olds heading down the hill. These little lads absolutely on it. all day long. It looks like Oliver Bridle's going to take it in and out of turn number 1. Shelby Yates doing it for his 750,000 subscribers on YouTube. In there into the young man in 3, Lou and Jamira, the king of beef curry and everything food related. So Henry Dodd, Mid-Lancs in there in 4, Benji Ross Foster, Merseyside BMX Club in 5. We're heading into the final turn, Exeter Eagles, Oliver Bridle. This is going to be a great present for Dad's 35th birthday. Bridle's going to take the win. Taking it across the line, Oliver Bridle from Shelby Yates, Lou and Jamira for the 3, and Henry Dodd giving Mid-Lancs a top 4. The little ladies are going crazy down the straight. Who's going to be the first to rise? Oh! Somebody blows a pedal. It was Sophia. Esme's in the middle. Matty McGoldrick's on the outside. She's diving underneath. She's flying down this straight as they head towards turn number 2. Here we go. Sophia, Matty, Esme. The absolute battle going on in this one as they head towards the final corner. Sophia and Hattie. Getting ever closer. She's looking for a way round. Esme's not done yet. It's going to be Sophia Reed bringing it to the line. It's all going to come down to points at the end of the day. Sophia from Hattie. Esme in 3. Ada in 4. Well done, girls. Absolutely top-notch racing. Final 37, the 8-year-olds are charging down the hill. Who's going to pick up the whole strong wheels rather fast? He's left on the outside. Leading it out, Tony Gorman and Payne Lucia. Gorman leads it out. Who's in there behind him? Got to be Arlo Payne. Doing it for Exeter Eagles. That looks like it could be Redditch in there as well. That's Archie Fisher rather fast up to 4. Looking like we have got the other Exeter rider in there as well. That's Joseph Clayton. In the mix, Clayton's made his move on Gorman. And he threw that 3rd straight. So it's now Clayton leading the race. Gorman shuffled back to 2. Your British champion looking to pick up this national win. Down the final straight, it is going to be Joseph Clayton leading it out. Gorman for 2. Archie Fisher rounds out the podium spot. 8-year-old girls are charging to turn number 1. Who's had a good gate? Looks like the inside. That is Maggie Devine out of lane number 1. She's looking to pick up a hot shot in the turn, and I think she's managed it. So Devine leads out this final. Where's all the Jewish? She's in there in that 2 spot. That looks like Hewitt in 3. Who's picking up the top 4 as they bring it on round the 104 of Izzy Moore out of Birmingham BMX Club. In and out of turn number 2. It's all about sort of race given Manchester at the moment. Devine is the rider to catch, and all the Jewish is making it her task to do so. Your British champions on the right hand side, left hand side into the turn, looking for a way round. Down the final straight, Devine, Jewish, who's going to pick up the final win? Down to the wire, that one was close. I think Devine might have hung on to it. Let's take a look. Devine, Jewish, Hewitt, that's your top 3. One-year-old boys will leave in the gate. Henry Sullivan on the inside. He's got Ethan the Great White to deal with as well. Dominic Tapalas has worked his way to the inside. Looking for a short route round the turn. Can't quite make it stick. It is Sullivan still leading it out. Jake Davis in there in about 4th spot. Doing it for Fluent Bicycle Motocross. Elliot Hatch inside the top 6, I think, at the moment. Seb Perry trying to make a move as well. But it is Henry Sullivan down the straight towards the final corner. He looks like he's going to pick up the win in the 9-year-old boys. Ethan the Great White didn't have enough for him to Panos. In there in that 3rd spot, the crucial BMX has taken a win. Henry Sullivan making the 9-year-old boys win here, round 3 of the National Series. 9-year-old girls, this one's going to be Fat Phoebe Millar, the first to rise on the inside. Amika Gibson and Preston Pyrus getting involved in her very first national as they go into the first turn. It is Miller leading it out. Ellen Grant won't be that far away. She's in there in two, looking for the rider in three. It looks like it's going to be the 2.96 belonging to Lauren Snell. Ellie Robertson on the 9.45, trying to keep the home fans happy. Doing it for Cumbernauld Centurions, but it is Phoebe Miller. Into the final turn we go. Miller from Grant, you know, 1 and 2. Snell's going to pick up the 3. She might even sneak a 2 if she can get close enough. She can't quite make it happen. Miller takes the win. Keller coming through. Gibson, strong 5th place.
Final 41 hits the track, the 10-year-old boys all let go. Giles has had a blinding start heading for the turn. That looks like Haynes on the inside trying to make it stick in the corner. And I think, one rider hits the deck. Haynes has worked his way up to 3 in behind Ollie Bird, who's in there in 2. But they are all chasing down Thomas Giles out of the northeast, who's in there in 4, looking like that could be Aston John Lee on his home track, doing it for the Centurions crew. He's under pressure there from Rex Ford as he head for the final turn. In they go, and back out again. It's all about Thomas Giles out of the northeast, charging down the final straight. Haynes putting pressure on Bird to the line. Who's going to get the 2 spot? I think Jack Haynes might have nicked it. Jack Haynes takes 2. Final 42, your 10-year-old girls hit the first jump. Bishop's on the inside, your world finalist from last year in America. She's looking to lead this one through, as she has been all day long. Halo Wheels race team is out front, then that's going to be Holly Webb in there behind her for Team Aaron and Nova. Looking to close the gap down. Elijah Powell is inside the top 3. They're 4, 5 and 6 and neck into the turn. Looking like the Centurions rider Rosie Geddes. Looked on the inside, didn't quite make it happen, so she's still in there in 4. Under pressure from the Allen's factory rider Molly Tomlinson. Last bit of action. In and out they go down that final straight. It's all about Bishop. She's going to pick up this win. Ollie Webb for 2, Elijah Powell for 3. Rosie Geddes is going to round out the top 4 finishes.
These final is so stacked, so many good riders in this one, and 2 of them are heading towards turn number 1. Jacob Anderson and Connor Hemphill. Hemphill's had the squeeze. Anderson's worked his way in. Very Orland getting involved as well. Where is the land shot? Ronnie Woody's back there in about 7, but pushing hard. Facing corner into the turn. Finley Monroe's jumping and trying to make moves, but it's Jacob Anderson. Who's in front? Teddy Jones is the man in 2. Connor Hemphill's in there in 3. Anything can happen in this final corner. In and out we go. Oh, Hemphill couldn't make the move stick. Anderson looking like he's going to do enough to hold on. Here comes Monroe for the 3. Oh, wow. Final 44, the 11-year-old girls. Maisie Egan on the inside, but she's got Trixie Trace to deal with. And Trace has worked her way out in front. They're getting very close in the middle of the pack. Maisie's had a total squeeze. Back there in 5, but it looks like Pro Start BMX's Betty Wills is the rider out front and in control. That's the 3 belonging to Trixie Trace in 2. The 7 for grade 2 that is in there with 3. Aria Rosley doing it for the Scottish fans in 4. Maisie in 5, Ellie Bean in 6. From 14 in 7, Underhill in 8. In and out of the final turn. It is going to be Betty Wills of Pro Start BMX bringing it to the line. Wills, great. 1 and 2. Udak in 3. Aria Rosley in 4.
Here we go, the 12-year-old boys hit the track. Bibby's out of lane number 1. Charging for turn number 1. Rowlands is right there. Rowlands leads out of turn number 1. Bibby's doing all he can to close that gap back down. That looks like the template they're playing inside the top 3. Archie Coker 1 is in there in 4. Tremira's in 5. In and out of turn number 2. It's all about Rowlands out front at the moment. Has Bibby got enough left in the tank to close the gap down? It's a final turn to do. Rowlands, Bibby, out of the final corner. Rowlands is hanging on as he run out of steam out to the line. Rowlands is going to hang on to it. James Bibby for that 2 spots. Ronnie Payne rounds out the podium positions. 10-year-old girls hit the track hiders coming out of lane number 1. Who's there with her looking like Grace Gerard? Out of lane 2, but it's all behind her into the turn. Your European number 3 leads it up for Pure Bicycles. That's going to be Freya Harris in there behind her, looking to close the gap. The 2 hard knocks by Gucci girls are going through as well. Look up front, Fawcett Murray working her way through from 3 to 2. So it's Hyder, Fawcett, Harris, Gerard, Paul, that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes Gerard looking for a move in the final corner, didn't quite make his stick. Iris Hyder is going to take the 12-year-old girls national win. Front past Fawcett for 2 and Freya Harris rounds out the top 3.
The 18-year-olds, I just took a quick look just to see who was going to get the nose out in front of Nish James Miller into the turn. Oh, how right round the outside. Go, 1, 2 riders down in the corner. Not sure who hit the deck. Doesn't matter to Ethan Howell. He's out in front doing it for the Evolve Collective. Took a risk by leaving the door open in that second turn. Miller wasn't close enough to take advantage of it. Ethan Rogers and Josh Jepson are battling for that final spot on the podium as they go in and out of the turn. Well, looks like Howell's going to pick up a win. Ethan Howell across the line. Happy, happy, happy. Miller for 2, Rogers for 3, and a great top 4 for Josh Jepson. All right, 13-year-old girls, there's a £100 whole shot prize up for this one. Ruby Warren on the inside, heading towards turn number 1. Looks like the whole shot is cha-ching. £100 richer. In and out of the turn we go. Esme Ward in there into, that looks like Martha Cotton going through in 3 with the 11. And Holly Diver in there as well, but it's Pure Bicycle. Ruby Warren only got Esme Ward within striking distance as they go towards the final turn. Warren, Ward, drag race down the final straight. Four bicycles are going to hold it on. Ruby Warren takes the win, takes the money. Bish, bash, bosh.
The 14-year-old boys is one of the most stacked age groups you're going to see all weekend long. Hamilton got the pick up, and it's just slightly wrong. Poppy leads in. Poppy in and out of that first corner. Hamilton's in there behind him. Elvis Lawrence in 3. That looks like Sean Shuffle back to about 5. As Poppy works his way into 4. In and out of turn number 2. Then it's all about Ned Goodwin. Out front looking good for Absolute Bicycle Motocross with Nate Hamilton out of Melo UK in there in that 2 spot. In and out of the final corner. Poppy, Hamilton, Lawrence, Quattro, Shaw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As they bring it across the line. Final 50 hits the track. The 14-year-old girls are charging for that first corner. Ring Janelino is in about now 5 as they head into the turn. Well, your race leader is going to be Katie Miller, your national champion from last year. She's being chased down by the Tier 1 of Emily Eaton, who I think has moved up in age group 4 this weekend. He's looking for a way around Millar in turn number 2. In and out they go. Millar, Eaton, that's your front 2 riders. Who's in 3? Got to be Jalala Patel. Ring Janelino isn't done yet. Here comes Eaton round the outside looking to make his stick. Didn't quite make out, but in the final corner, Millar, Eaton, down to the wire. It's going to be Millar hanging on. Eaton for 2. Jalala Patel for 3. Ring Janelino in 4. Racing.
Words of the Beastie Boys, check, and check it out. IDS losing his pedal down the first straight. That's going to make it really difficult for him to get anywhere near the front because these guys are just so damn fast. Amos Guppy, Lucas Seeley 1 and 2. Harvey Tomlinson in there in 3. Lucas Osborne in 4. IDS is having a go. Looks like he's been caught up with Jacob Ward. Absolute bicycle motocross in and out of final corner. They are going to pick up a win. Amos Guppy to the line. Lucas Seeley for 2. Tomlinson for 3. Lucas Osborne looks pretty happy with 4. The girls are going, they ain't slow. Hayley Watson doing it for BMX Widow Photography in front of the home fans in Scotland, picking up the whole shot. What's he got in there in two, I think it is. It looks like Remy Walford in there in four, Summerlin in five. The foreplay that belongs to Grace Bertie in there in that third spot. But it's Watson doing it for BMX Widow Photography, holding on to it, covering that line into the final corner. Lottie Brown tried to make the move, couldn't make it stick. It's going to be Watson. Watson, Brown, Bertie 1, 2, 3, Walford in fourth, Lynn in five. Here we go, looks like Bertie's hit the deck straight out of the gate, but check out Kai Bowen, ladies and gents. If you've raced here today, you know how hard it is to do it from lane number 8. With Bowen, it's just made it look as easy as a hot knife through butter. Bowen leads it then, that's Smith in there in 2, Emily's in 3. Who's picking up 4? Going to be Henry Rayner out of Evolve Collective. Ollie Coppins in there in 5. But it's all about your world number 5 at the moment. In and out of the final corner, stay strong, Clark again. Kai Bowen is going to pick up the 16-year-old boys win and head into the strike. Smith for 2, Emily in 3. Final 54, here's the track. Your 16-year-old girls are charging towards the turn. Waits on the inside. Moores who's tried to slot herself underneath into the corner. And she's worked it into the 2. Wait. Moores, that's your 1 or 2 at the moment. The W4 of Jess Marion in there in 3. That looks like Emane in there in 4. The front 4 are battling it out. They're running away from the rest of the pack at the moment. But it's all about weight as it stands doing it for V-Strong race team. Who's going to move into the final turn? Here comes Emane with a highlight. Can she make it happen from 4? Heading down the final straight. Wait. Moores, that's your 1 or 2. Marion Emane 3 and 4. Nice. It's go time in the 17 and 18-year-old boys final. George Gerard hard knocks by coaching on the inside. Oh, shit, Young held on to that. I've got absolutely no idea. But he's there in 2. But it's Gerard, Young, and the Stay Strong rider in there as well. That's going to be Ard Esselmont in there in 3. Thomas Doran in 4. Aiden Fawcett rounding on the top 5. Lewis Cook in there in 6. Josh Williams in 7. Brandon Mallon in 8. Gerard, is he going to get caught to the line? He manages to hold it on. Gerard Young, Esselmont, Duran. That was your 1, 2, 3 and 4. But Che Young Park must have skipped a beat once they went. 17 and 18-year-old girls heading down the hill. Megan Gerard doing it for Rab Racing on the inside, but she has got Jeska Hemstock to deal with. Couldn't quite make it stick in the corner. Esme Brook in there as well in that third spot. Where is Tilly McCrum? He's doing it for Cumbernauld Centurions and BMX Widow Photography. He's in there in 5, chasing down there. Fumi and Jamie Hepburn. And as they go in and out of the turn, Megan Gerard still holding on to it at the moment in that familiar red kit of Rab Racing. In and out of the final corner we go. Jeska Hemstock can't get close enough. It's going to be another Rab Racing win. Megan Gerard taking another national win. Esme for the 3. Wow, wow, wow.
Nice each of 29-year-olds all goes Savage out of lane 1. Who's going to get the hot shot into the 2? Roscoe leads it. That's going to be Savage in 2. Hayden Greaves works his way up to 3. Balance up, Maple is in there in 4. 5. Here comes Kay on the inside. But it's Bradshaw. Steve Mamo UK taking it to him. Out front, in and out of the final turn. Last year's national and British champion. Tyrese Bradshaw picks up the win. Savage and Green tie on the line for 2 and 3. Callum Child Maple for 4. Final 58, the 19 to 29-year-old women are charging for that first corner. Evie Webster's looking to hold off. Green into the turn. Webster, Green. That's your 1 or 2 as you head through the second straight. Who's picking up 3? Got to be Annabelle Townsend. Out of team here in Andover. Looking up Birmingham NRT's Imogen Gibson is in there in 4. Hannah Drew's in there in 5. Hazy Hurry in 6. Willinson Clinch 7 and 8. But it's all about Webster out front at the moment. Into the final turn and back out again. Green doing all she can to close the gap. Townsend isn't done yet either, but it's going to be a European number 6. Evie Webster across the line. Green hangs on for 2 on the skin of her teeth as Annabelle Townsend goes through in 3. The Masters, and it ain't no disaster. And Luckhurst on the inside. Brazil's getting involved as well. Bruno's on the inside. Can't quite make it stick. It is Stay Strong's Billy Luckhurst out in front. Adam Brazil in there in 2. Bruno's is threading the needle. He's in there in 3. Martinez in 4. Irwin in 5. Lillingston in 6. Shaughnessy in 7. As they go down towards the final corner. It's going to be Stay Strong's Billy Luckhurst taking the win. Adam Brazil might get it. Oh, I think he did. Whoa. Quick look on scores. On the club. There's hit the track in final number 16. Watson's on the inside. Didn't quite get the pickup as perfect as he would have liked. That ball on right round the outside of the lot of him. And picks on the hot shot in and out of turn number 1. Barnard leads it for Stay Strong. CK Wiz Homans, he's in there in 3. Looking for a move on Watson in turn number 2 and didn't dive under. That looks like it could be the 2-plate. Oh, Fude inside the top 4. He's been chased out by Adam Fude in there in 5. Last turn action, in and out. For Mark Barnard taking it to him. Watson isn't done yet. Barnard, Watson, that's your 1-2. Who's going to get 3 on the line? I think Homans might have just hung on, but I am not 100% sure. It was a big pause for the Grand Vets, but they are all safely away. Hilly on the inside, he's got Brett Archibald to deal with as they go into the first turn. Martin Oggy Ogden doing it for Donald Lovers everywhere. He's in there in 3. Brett Knight in 4. Kevin Sykes in 5. Stu Little trying to make a move as well, but it is Alan Hill, Pure Bicycles, in and out of the second turn and looking good down that third straight. Oggy looking pretty set for a podium spot. But Pure Bikes Alan Hill, he's going to win yet another national. Hilly takes it, Brett Archibald in 2. Oggy in 3, Brett Knight in 4, Sykes for the 5, Fortune Little and Elliott. Right. Junior Open, he's going so even. Look at him heading towards turn number 1. Henry Finley off on the inside. Picks up the whole shot. Finley hopping 2. Ruben Burns in there in 3. That looks like Curtis Coughlin in 4. James Quindle working his way around the outside into that top 5 spot. But he's absolute bicycle board across Henry, but he's under pressure from Finley Hoff as they approach that final corner. Off Burn, 1, 2, 3, Copeland's in there in 4. Henry's going to hang on, takes the win from Finley off. James Clitheroe rounded out the top 4 after stealing it away from Curtis Copeland. Attack, championship women in the track. It is Shriver, 1 heading for turn number 1. Shriver leads this one out. Chalice is right there with them looking for a way through. Hulk's in there in 3. Who's in 4? Got a million inches away. But it is all about Shriver. Chalice in front at the moment. Who's got the 5 spot? That is Beckham Roy. Bouncing there in 6. But heading towards the final turn. Bev Shriver, your former Olympic champion, world champion, heading down to the strike. Shriver, oh, Chalice gets it all rolling. Here's the deck. Emily Hood takes the 2. Lily Chisworth puts it on the podium for a 3. Mark Lee riding out of Pure Bicycles. Harrison Bell out of Stay Strong, Clark and Ken. Carl Strickland out of Absolute, Ben Cornish riding for Mabo UK. P. Raddy Sharrock Out of Ice Bikes, George Hunt. Last year's national champion out of Birmingham, Jos Martin. And on the 164 out of Pure Bicycles, Quaylen Isidore. The final of the day hits the track, is it all the lane, not around. Barnum didn't get the best of starts, Hunt is looking for it in the turn. Isidore, that's your 1 and 2, looking like Paddy Sharris works his way up to 3. Cornish's glued to his back wheel along with Martin into the corner. It's all about Pure Bikes at the moment though. Isidore leading it out. Hunt isn't done yet. He's looking for a way round. He wants to pick up this win in and out of the final corner. Isidore, Sharrick, Cornish, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how they're going to bring it down to the line. Jos Martin for 5.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up your racing for today. We will see you tomorrow for round number 4. Mass exodus from the car park. We'll see you all in Nando's later. Have a good evening. Back tomorrow, round 4. Bring your A game.